All right, guys, here we are. This is going to be a discussion about the Sonic theatrical release trailer, the two trailers, the theatrical release movie poster. Me and John actually supposed to do a podcast. Well, we've been setting up to do a podcast.
Wait, you gotta introduce me properly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hello, everybody. In case y'all didn't know who I was, because you don't know who I am p-giovanni in Bristol. And today we have this discussion going on, like I said, about the Sonic movie theatrical release trailers that came out, the horrendous one that everybody had an uproar about.
I did
a few months back. And
with John.
My cousin Justin, who hosts his own podcast. We get some links and stuff in the description below and all that stuff.
Start jailing with it.
Right. But yeah, so we about to discuss and break down these trailers and discuss the Sonic movie in general. Now, to get back to the formalities, me discuss these trailers and in good company and people who are big Sonic the Hedgehog fans. They said, especially John.
I wouldn't say I'm a big Sonic.
I wouldn't say that
fan.
either.
I know John is a really huge fan. So.
I wouldn't say I'm as huge a fan as I was like maybe 5-10 years ago.
Well, you're the one person that I met who rivals the love of Sonic that I have.
That is
over
true.
Here. Like, I remember when
all the comics.
Right, when I first meet John, like literally we met over Sonic. We took a class again, and he's like, "Yeah, but I got the Sonic AM DVDs and la la la." And I was like, "I have the actual DVDs." He had them on a jump drive, and he's like, "Wow, really? Wow."
I did. And I had all of the PDFs for all the comics that were released.
Yeah, he was showing me all the showing me all the comics and everything too.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, and I mean, I never been a super Sonic fan. More so, like I mean, of course, I grew up playing games and stuff like that. I was more so like a Mario type fan or whatever.
And that's the funny thing. When I was younger too, I had like SNES. I had all the Nintendo consoles, but I low-keyed it. Right, I low-key was like, but Sonic though.
Yeah.
Listen, I grew up playing Sonic the Hedgehog. That was the first game I ever got, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. My father purchased it for me. We were living in the United States during the time, and I had a Sega Genesis. That was the first game I got. Yes.
You was a cooler kid.
Yeah, right?
I was the coolest kid.
I was at school like, I have a SNES, y'all have Sega. Well.
Sega does with Nintendo. You guys remember that?
I remember that.
Y'all ever used to watch any Sonic cartoons that we made? But I used to love them. Like the Freedom Fighters, and then I used to have I used to always try to practice how to draw Sonic from I had this Sonic book with the Freedom Fighters. I can't remember what the storyline was.
Yeah, the one form of media they can't do wrong, Sega can't do wrong with Sonic is literally the cartoons and TV, because all the shows to me been a hit, right? Yeah.
Including Sonic Boom.
I just gonna say especially Sonic Boom. As trashy and as the game was, I watched that show and I was like, bruh, this is really good. That hits.
Yeah, it didn't entice me to want to play the game whatsoever, and that's fine. But I did end up buying the sequel game for the 3DS.
Rise of Lyric? No. What's
the sequel game would be Fire and Ice. Or whatever.
They say that was just a bit better, but it still was garbage.
I played it. It was good. It reminded me a lot of the Sonic Dash games from the DS.
Mobile. Okay.
No,
and also the Sonic Advance
Rush,
games.
You mean? Sonic Rush.
Yeah, Sonic Rush. Yeah. Sorry, not Sonic Dash. Sonic Rush. There is a Sonic Dash, Sonic
Right,
Boom.
that's why it's like mobile.
Sonic Rush would be,
No, Sonic Rush was a great game. I love that. At least it's the first version. I didn't get the second one. But I love Sonic Rush. And mentioning is they should release a next Sonic game.
Yeah, so we were talking before we started up the podcast, and we rest down this Master Sword. By the way, I cut myself on one of PG's swords. I didn't think they were going to be sharpened to cut human beings, but
boy, was you wrong.
Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah,
so we were talking, and I just felt like since the movie is being released and Sonic Mania made a huge splash the other year, we need a new Sonic game, a good 3D Sonic game. Forces does not count. All Forces was a placeholder for the Sonic brand.
Right. Now, what you was telling me the other day was you need a direct tie-in game to the movie, or just a different game on the
I think we could use a mobile direct tie-in game.
Mobile? Why mobile?
Because there's no risk involved with doing a mobile game. You could do it any type of way you want. The market is there. There's a lot more people versus persons who take risks with console games.
Yeah.
For instance, Sonic Forces. That was utter trash to me. I felt it was utter trash. Because looking at the gameplay,
this was a console game or a mobile?
Console.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I didn't get to play Forces.
You're not missing much. I saw gameplay of it. I watched people play.
But the feedback I heard was it was good.
It's good
without the addition of classic Sonic and the Avatar.
The thing is, you don't have to really play the game. I watched a guy on YouTube play this game with one hand. That's not cool. That's not cool.
That ain't cool.
Sonic has been known to be if you wanted to be a technical game where it takes keen eye movements, good platforming observation, and just a general sense of speed, all in one. Whereas you have this game, you just press a button and just let it rip. I legit watched someone do that. That was embarrassing.
Well, I think if this film hits, they definitely gonna. Well, regardless of the movie hit or not, they still gonna be bringing out Sonic games.
Yeah.
Now, anticipating like how quickly they do it, I think if the movie does hit, they gonna rush a game quicker than I know they cooking up right now. We have to wait for E3 or whatever, but I think they might produce something.
Let me ask you a quick question. I heard you brought it up earlier. So what do y'all think about like the whole Sonic spin-off games? Like when he was, I remember I think I passed the one when he was like a knight or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
The storybook series.
Yeah.
I personally never finished any of them. I only played one, and that was the Secret Rings. The other storybook series games, which is one more, the Knight, I didn't play that. I just felt it was too gimmicky, and it was so far away from Sonic that it just felt like I could have played any character in that same role. You know, him swinging a sword around. I never liked the idea of Sonic using weapons. I barely tolerated Shadow.
Insert Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah.
I barely tolerated that when he wanted to pick up a gun, start using the word damn, and then killing people.
You edgy look.
Killing people with machine guns.
Right.
I felt, okay, someone at Sega pitched this idea. Amidst the board of the Sonic team, they stood in front of maybe 20, 30 people and said, I have an idea. What if Sonic uses guns? So they turned it down because that's stupid. So we said, wait, what if Shadow uses guns?
Epiphany, mind blown.
Yeah, it's like, okay, everyone came to an apotheosis right now. They're like, oh, yeah, that's great. That's a good idea.
We could do this.
That's a good idea. Let's do it. Let's do it. Sorry, I used the word wrong. It's apotheosis. Yes.
All right.
So
yeah. Well, for me, the spin-off games, I guess it depends on which spin-off game you're talking about. Because if from back in the Genesis days, a lot of people, I have a guilty pleasure. A lot of people hate Sonic Spinball, but I love it. Honestly,
I loved it.
I love it. And like I say, it depends on which games. Like the storybook series that we was just talking about, I too only played Sonic and the Seven Rings, the Secret Rings, whatever they're called.
Secret Rings.
Yeah,
Secret Rings.
I didn't think it was bad, but I understand why it got flack because the controls weren't as responsive and tight. A lot of people didn't know to hold the damn controller on the side. First of all, they was trying to play like a regular Wii game, so I could understand the bad feedback it got, but I thought it was a decent enough game.
Yeah, I'll interrupt you with that. That was actually pretty good. That was because that came out during the time when Sonic 2006 was still floating around as the most embarrassing Sonic game on earth. And when that came out, it actually got good reviews, like both sevens.
Right.
Maybe an 8 or 2.
I remember that.
But there's about lone 7s, nothing below a 6.
Right.
It was a fine Sonic game.
It was good enough to play.
It was just on rails.
Definitely wasn't the best thing ever, but it was.
That's when the Wii was forcing everybody to use gimmicky controllers to make it stand out. And then for some reason, Call of Duty used to be on that system a lot.
Yeah.
And if I could remember, those Call of Duty games had the worst graphics out of the big three.
Oh yes,
and
definitely.
then we had the Wii U come out, no Call of Duty. Wait, there was a Call of Duty for that. Sorry, it wasn't marketed. And then the Switch is out, and there's no Call of Duty for the Switch. But we're not using gimmicks anymore.
Wait. I think ain't no Call of Duty for the Switch.
There is no Call of Duty for the Switch.
I guess we'll get that off because Call of Duty is a dead horse right now.
No, dude, it's actually popping.
No, a lot of dudes like it, but to me, it's like they really beating that Bad.
They've changed things now.
The fact that it had a yearly release every year is like, y'all shouldn't have gone into that territory.
I mean, yeah.
It oversaturated first-person shooters, everything.
I wouldn't say oversaturated first-person shooters. It's just that the popularity was like Fortnite right now. Where people are now oversaturated with Fortnite. There's references everywhere. You can't go 2 miles without some 10-year-old kid asking if you play Fortnite, if you go and talk to them.
Or somebody doing the floss or this and that.
Yeah, doing something from Fortnite, which Fortnite took from something else. But Call of Duty is actually popping. When I was in Japan 2 weeks ago, was it 3 now? I can't remember.
Humble brag.
Almost a month, because I left on the 19th. It's almost the 19th again. Yeah, that's about 4 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah, it was about a month. Wow, time flies.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was in Japan, there was lone Modern Warfare advertisements everywhere. If you go to Shibuya, it's there. You go to Ikebukuro, it's there. You go to Shinjuku, it's there. It's like you can't escape it. You can't. Achihabara is the worst. Just lone advertisements everywhere.
Call of Duty.
Everywhere you go is an advertisement for anime.
Everything, yeah. Well, I guess that's good at popping. Okay. So let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this discussion. What we came here for.
Hold on, what's the official title for this movie? Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Yeah,
just Sonic the Hedgehog.
Actually, it's Sonic ... the Hedgehog. The colon.
Oh, for real?
You see it?
Sonic colon the Hedgehog.
Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
The Hedgehog.
But ain't nobody going to the ticket booth saying, "Let me see Sonic colon the Hedgehog." Right. So did you guys see the movie poster that came out first? That was the first thing when they was just announcing it. Then they had like the moving poster where he'd zoom from the back and then come into the forefront.
No, that was like
the silhouette was
a
there.
super mini teaser trailer.
Yeah, because they put some testing footage out from like years ago. Because I was hearing about this movie from like probably 2015, 2016.
Even before that, we heard rumors that Paramount is developing a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Right.
I think around 2014 is when people first heard. Maybe even before that. I know during that time Sonic was still a little popular. You know, Sonic had been releasing games on the Wii U.
Yeah, the hype still was up there.
So, I mean, the game, one of my favorite games, Sonic Lost World, was still popping.
Okay, that's dope.
That game's pretty dope. Yeah. I don't care, nothing PG says.
Say that. Right. Yeah, it's still popping. So yeah, they did have the announcement. Oh yeah, we're gonna make a Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer. And I remember from that time when they released that, people was like, "We gotta see this. Like, we gotta see what they do." Like a blue hedgehog, people was in fear that they was gonna literally use a hedgehog and then just dye it blue.
I don't know who would have thought that. I do know there are people who speculate it's gonna be CGI.
Right.
But maybe it's waiting for the technology to catch up. This is why they never did it, or the right story, and then you have to go through different, the different doorways before you get that movie made. You know. Because the Japanese have to approve on the design at least, eh?
Right.
No, wait. No, they didn't.
Did they? I was just gonna say did they approve?
But somebody did have to approve that.
Yeah.
But this poster came out, and I remember everybody was in uproar because the proportions were just terrible.
Right, it was different.
Big ass head.
Yeah.
Big ass head, and then this like man muscular.
Yeah, human legs.
You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't skip leg day and stuff like that. And they was like, Jesus Christ. Like Sonic already done had a bad rep because everybody just hopped on the train of saying any 3D Sonic game is a terrible Sonic game. So
no, I don't know.
It already had a stigma against it. A lot of people.
Those people are full of it.
They are full of it. The Sonic fan base is a fan base that disgusts me, but I love at the same time.
Yeah, they force this change.
Right?
Man, that first poster where it showed his human man legs was nothing versus the second poster which showed his human man legs fully
on the
rendered.
bridge, right?
On the bridge. So he has these ripped calves. Sonic has things I want.
Like, Jesus Christ, why does the Sonic film not go in the right? He's like, bruh. They gotta freak up the movie too, like really. Like,
I would be surprised if he had abs.
I think that's where they was going because, like, if you look at how he's animated now versus the first trailer, like his body was a little bit longer, his torso was longer,
and all that. Right?
Yeah, so it was almost like he had like a track star type. Like
that's exactly what people said when they saw the poster. And then people started, fans with their fan art immediately. They started showing what was behind the silhouette, and then they had like these hyper realistic needle mouse eyes. Like this hyper realistic hedgehog eyes,
And they were so close
they
to
was-
the mother.
and it was like I was looking at those and I was like, man, I hope it really don't look like this behind the silhouette for real. Even though I knew it was fan creations, I was like, they could be doing some garbage like that for real,
Trust
maybe.
me.
And I was like, yeah, this ain't looking too good.
Nothing's beyond the realms of what's possible in
ain't looking
Hollywood.
too good.
Cat
And
Hat.
Let's not bring this up here.
I felt like it was going in that direction. I was waiting for them to
What?
announce a man in a hedgehog
Just
suit.
take off that.
Like he's an alien. It's like he's just in a hedgehog looking suit. That's one of the more zanier ideas.
And it's so
Yeah.
funny because then, like we said, it was like a mini trailer, right? With that poster, I was like so hype up. I was like, yeah, look at Sonic moving, ching ching ching, and he had like the rings, and he's picking up the rings, and then he came on with the pose, and I was like, wow, never so quickly have my hopes been dashed, because it was like, yeah, very excited, and then like just seeing the abomination silhouette, and like, all right then, everybody's just like, okay, so let's just wait for a trailer. Maybe the trailer might not be so bad, and then a few months back, we got that first trailer.
It was really
We
different.
got that first
No,
trailer.
we
It was
got that
different.
from I think it was having some type of event where they showcased it first. I think a Japan game show or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to be inaccurate, so I'll just say it was first shown
Right.
at an event, and then it was shown to the public. I think about a week later.
Right.
I remember IGN covering the story. I remember Kotaku was covering the story, and a lot of people had a lot of troubling thoughts on it. They were very worried, to say the least,
Right.
because of the way Sonic looked,
Right.
the
Right.
music selection choice in the
Right.
background.
All of that stuff.
Robotnik was the only thing good about the film at that point.
Right.
That so far what people can observe. And then you get this human-looking Sonic that comes on,
Right.
really creepy
Everybody's
human to you.
Everybody's deepest fear.
And I was like, at first I was loving it. I'm like, you know what? This is different. You know, this ain't the Sonic I grew up with. This ain't the Sonic people used to seeing in the games, the TV shows, or any media whatsoever. But this is the Sonic we got.
Like,
Let me try to appreciate it.
I trying to harken back. Because when I first saw it, I think people was comparing it to. Well, it was some animation movie that came out a couple years ago where I can't remember what it was, but I think the pressure behind why everybody was so down on this because Detective Pikachu was being promoted around the same
Right.
time.
Right.
So they was like, all right, well. If
how-
Detective
right,
Pikachu,
it
this,
looked
but it's
like
a
that.
different Pikachu because you have Ryan Reynolds playing Pikachu.
Yeah, it's
And
a
so-
different Pikachu. But the problem with that, with comparing the two, is that Pikachu looked like Pikachu.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the main thing.
Instantly recognized as
It's
Pikachu.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, and
without
it's like
having to be told that that's Pikachu.
Right.
Sonic comes
was
out,
like-
and the only recognizable
Like
thing
this
about
is
him is
the
he's
blur.
blue.
Right. Blue hair.
But I appreciated the design because it looks like a real hedgehog.
Right.
And
Because
it'd be nice
I-
if this version of Sonic turned into the version that we now have, like through an experiment. Like, yeah, he just went through some.
I think
zappy,
somebody the other
zilly-
day mentioned that to me. Say they should keep all two in actually, and have a scene where
Yeah, let this one be like a classic Sonic.
But let me show you. Like when I first saw the trailer, right? I ain't gonna lie, Loki. I was like, well, he did. It was like a little bit putting off, right? And I was like, it ain't necessarily that bad. To me, it didn't necessarily wasn't that bad because
Right.
I remembered the poster. And I was like, okay, they fixed some stuff from the poster because he didn't look as buff as he did in the poster, right?
Yeah,
so I'm
he
like,
lost some weight.
right, he did
He's
lose
on
some weight. So I
his
was like,
cutting
okay, it don't look so bad, and definitely it was in motion too. So I was like, okay, seeing it in motion, it ain't all that bad. It is offsetting, like they didn't get his likeness perfect, but I was like, we can't go into a video game movie, definitely a video game movie, looking for perfect.
Yeah.
Because all of them suck. All of them
Not
suck apparently. I mean,
all.
I wouldn't say all, but everybody says every video game movie comes out suck.
Yeah,
I-
what was
not
the recent ones?
all.
Like,
Detective Pikachu was
Okay.
recent.
That's what I'm saying. That
I
didn't
like
suck.
the Prince of Persia. Honestly, a lot of people say they hate
it
that.
sucked.
Nobody like that.
It sucked.
I like
sucked.
that.
It was
And then
another-
there was Resident Evil, obviously.
Okay, that was actually a successful
Yeah.
comic book series. The first two movies, at least, followed a somewhat cohesive plot that
Right.
adjacent to the games.
Mhm.
But everything after that is like, okay, I could see 3 was inspired by 5, but it has nothing to do with 5's plot. That's because they went and kind of killed everybody. Then everything else after that was just it could have been an apocalyptic Resident Evil game, or could not have been, but it was different. What other video game based movies are out there?
Right,
Mario sucked. I know that.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, that was.
yeah. But low-key,
time
when I
ago.
first saw the trailer, I was like, okay, the design. Like I was ready to stomach it because I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, I still could see the damn movie anyway.
It's
So
like being in a relationship with someone you really didn't want to be with,
Yeah.
but just trying to make it
Man,
work.
I was like, I can stomach it because they can still get my money. So
That's what you're doing,
why-
stomaching it.
right? Why should I even make an uproar? Low-key. Now the real thing is, I was low-key gonna be mad. I was like, watch they do some stupid garbage or some stupid shit like make him slow. I was in fear that the most. I was like, they could do something dumb like make him green, or they could do some off-the-wall crap.
Or just have him
Right.
normal hedgehog color.
Right. And then it's gonna make him like super slow. And I was like, that's what I was nervous, and that's why
They call him Sonic.
that's why I
This is
was
the fast hedgehog, technically.
that's what I was very nervous about. But then when I saw the speed, and then I saw the trailer and some of the jokes are hitting, I was liking it. I was like, I like Robotnik's character. Gangsta Paradise is kind of weird to me too. I was like,
Even though I
Red flags.
I sort of like that because how they was trying to make it all action packed.
right. I was head bumping. I was head bumping watching it, but I was like, yeah, like cheapest they pick a speedy song, bro.
Yeah, there's
Right?
something fun, something upbeat, something like lots of guitar riffs, and you know, Sonic has always been directly related to rock music since
Right.
at least Sonic Adventure.
Right.
They could have done
That's
that.
what I was. Yeah, that's what I was
You
thinking.
know,
I was like,
Sonic has always have a rock-based song.
I was
since-
like missed opportunity here.
99.
Crush 40. Like, come on.
Yeah.
now. Right. I was like very missed
listen, if
opportunity.
Open Your Heart
Right.
was playing in the background of the first trailer, I think Sonic fans' reaction would have been a little bit more damper.
Right.
Come on, when you hear that,
Right.
Like, come on, you have to just ignore the monstrosity that's in front of you
Man.
and just listen to the music.
But to me, the actual trailer wasn't bad to me, honestly.
it was
A
terrible.
lot. No, I don't think it was actually really bad. The jokes are funny, and
Yeah, but it was terrible.
the situations that they put Sonic in were situations that I could see. One thing I was really happy about was the animation on the spin dash.
Yeah, I like that.
That was
Yeah,
a really
yeah.
good animation. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, at least they got the animation good. You know what I'm saying? It feels like, to me, it felt like Sonic. It didn't look like Sonic, but at least it felt like
And
Sonic.
then they didn't have him spin dash until he actually hit the word.
road, right?
Right.
Yeah, the road.
So I was like,
That's
all
like
right.
a Where's,
It look-
Where's Waldo movie, but he's wearing a red shirt with just a white dot in the middle, and he has blonde hair, and he's actually a detective. That has nothing to do with Waldo.
Right,
The
right.
Where's Waldo franchise brand has nothing to do with it. They're just using the character's name and inserting it on some guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I liked in the first trailer was the scene when Robotnik was shooting all the missiles at Sonic and everything was like slowed down and it's like
Yeah, they took that
Scene.
scene from. It was that last X-Men.
It was JoJo. They took that scene from
I know
JoJo's
what you
Bizarre
mean.
Adventure.
When Quicksilver was
Yeah, Quicksilver running
and-
around
right.
slow mo, and then
it's
people
kinda-
kept on doing it. Been doing
Right,
it for the
yeah,
last
people did
5,
keep on
6,
doing
7
that.
years.
So I kind of like that scene too. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, that's exactly what it would seem like for Sonic 2. It
Yeah.
gave me a sense of speed, even though they slowed everything down.
That remind me of
Which is
JoJo.
like-
That legit remind me of the word. And then you see like everything stopping because that's exactly what he was doing. He was stopping time.
Right, and then the last shot they had with Eggman and Mushroom Hills with his iconic bald head, the big mustache, and goggles and stuff like that.
I don't
was
know
like,
if people noticed that, but that's Mushroom Hill Zone in the background with the
Right.
giant mushroom. So rewatch the trailer over. Wait for that last final shot of Dr. Robotnik. And I think he's in his Eggman form in that one.
Right.
And look at the giant mushrooms just flared out in the background. It has the same color scheme and everything. That means this is taking us to Angel Island.
Right. And for the life of me, I understand now why the fans were so mad because of the design. But at that point of time, I was like, did you guys watch the same trailer? Because it's like, even though they didn't get the design right, at least they still did care about the property, the franchise, because they had these hits in it. Like, okay,
Yeah,
he's spin dashing. They have Mushroom Hill and Eggman in it.
but don't look good though.
Right. But yeah, they're like, nope,
Hey.
Sonic does not look good. Thus, this movie will flop. I was like,
No,
no,
no.
seen it yet though.
The movie would have flopped if people are not satisfied with the design. When you're watching something, you want it to look like what you're watching. Like
That is
Yeah.
also true.
you're
What you're
watching
familiar with.
Superman, but he's actually fat. Just like they made the example of the Where's Waldo.
Right.
Mustache that they're trying to CG.
Yeah, but they accidentally CG a beard onto his chin.
Yeah, that would be off-putting.
So you're looking at it and you're trying to figure out which part is the super. Because all I see is just a man.
Man, that would be off-putting.
But
For real.
I think that it's important that what they did with the film going forward was a very good representation of what all theaters and film companies should do. Listen to the fans. When fans say, hey, we don't like what we see, change it.
Right.
For God's sake, they're giving you your money. The most you could do is make sure the product is satisfying.
To them. I agree with that.
That's
I
like
totally
if
agree with
Pikachu literally looked like a mouse and just yelling.
Man.
Yeah,
It's tiny.
I really wonder if they test screen the first one because
They did.
They had to,
to.
right?
Because-
Yeah, they had to.
no, because it's like if you
But
go
amongst their peers,
yeah,
looks like.
because it's like as I'm watching the second trailer, I'm like, all right, y'all did a lot of reshooting, and
Right.
that was a lot of money spent, and then me being a filmmaker, us being filmmakers,
Like,
that's a lot of budget that you have to,
real.
hopefully you make that back.
Right.
Because it's like, wait, if y'all don't make it back, ain't no
That's
part
a hit.
2
That's a lot.
coming
Right,
out.
and then
Sonic is a franchise that can go on and
it,
on
can,
and on.
Yeah.
it will not die. So that's a good thing.
But do you see the new SpongeBob movies, the last 2 ones that came out, where they totally abandoned live action in favor for CGI?
Yeah, I seen that.
I'm hoping that happens with the Sonic franchise because I feel as though, and I felt this way when I saw the first trailer, that having it take place in a live action environment is horrendously limiting what can be shown on screen.
Yeah.
So you have Sonic, who's this CGI character, and he can do amazing things, but how he interacts with the background is limited to the technology and to the,
Realism
guess,
of the space?
the spot where they're filming.
Yeah.
And then having the human characters, they can't do much.
Right.
If they take it totally in the direction where the games took it, maybe even adapt the first 3 games as one movie, I'm sure that would have been really good. We don't need human characters in to introduce Sonic. Sonic is a brand. That human guy is not. I don't need Sonic to be introduced by a human.
No.
Yeah.
I don't need Sonic to be in our world to have motivation to do the right thing.
Right.
Now, I do love where they're going with the humor. The humor is going to be like a big fish in a small pond, or maybe someone lost in translation. That's where the humor is going to be derived of.
Right.
Sonic being so alien to this
You went
world.
foreign to the
Yeah.
world. Right.
But man,
But going back on one point that you made earlier too, like I agree with you too when you said I on the fence about this. I agree with you, but I on the fence about this where it's studios listening to their fans, because the fans ultimately is the people giving you the money for the product, right? I agree with them actually going back, and after the big backlash and the feedback that the fans gave after seeing that first trailer, they was like, okay, we heard you guys, we can go back to the drawing board and we can rework Sonic and stuff like that. Now, I on the fence about that because, one, we got the epic second trailer that we got, which is much more closely to the design of Sonic. But two, to me, it starts to make me wonder, like, is it your creation anymore? You know what I'm saying? Because you had something implemented, you had a thought about it, you know what I'm saying? You had a creation going forward. Now we give the fans this power to say, go and do it all over. You make your stuff. Clearly, they work tirelessly and effortlessly. I mean, ultimately, this is very unprecedented what we're seeing right here.
Yeah, because you never see no one
Don't see
put
this
a
happen.
trailer out and then take more time and go fix what you like people want. Like
Almost
you don't see
pretty much switch everything up. Honestly,
Well,
especially with
there's
animation.
cases-
Animation ain't cheap, bro.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
This is very unprecedented.
That ain't like live action. You could go get the actors back and go reshoot a
Real
scene.
talk.
Like, you gotta take time and go animate frame for
to
frame.
be honest, they
you know?
do that in Japanese anime. Like they'll what they'll do is they'll release how it looks on television, and then they'll change things up a little bit in Blu-ray, add a little bit more to it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's not unprecedented.
It is.
I mean,
'cause
before
even
the
still,
initial
because you
release.
say they switching that up for Blu-ray, right? So they could actually, they do have that time to go back. But now they had this release date here for
Yeah.
November. even though they did push back the release date, understandably.
Keep in mind, they're constantly
But-
working on projects. So it's not like they
Right.
have this period of rest.
It's very
They just,
tiresome.
all right, new anime now. Boop, 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 boop.
If I was honestly, if I was an animator, I'd have been like, yeah, all right, y'all gotta pay me like now. Pay me like $200 million now, because I can be slaving for the next couple of months, and because of the short time that they did this in. Because if you watch,
Yeah.
I could be showing clips of the trailer over this, right? But when you compare the two trailers, like the second trailer, a lot of people is asking the question, is this the same film?
Yeah.
Honestly, but it almost feel like it's a whole different film. It looked like they even went and reshot a whole lot of stuff
But
too.
that's the
They
thing.
did.
They
And
only
things
can
like
show us so many scenes in the trailer. So
They
we don't
only
know.
can.
I don't
So
think.
that's what I saying.
I don't think they changed the film too much.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like they might have changed the film too much,
That's because they only showed
and especially the way that
wanted
they
to.
presented especially the way that they presented the trailer too. And what I'm telling people now is ultimately what we do have is 3 Sonic films out there that I want to watch now. We have the first raw cut with the first design. I really want to see that. I still want to see that, honestly. We do have the first raw cut with the updated design, just plastered over everything. And then we have what we see now in the second trailer. That's 3 films that I want to watch. But obviously, I wouldn't say obviously, they might even release the first cut.
Maybe on
Who knows?
Blu-ray or something.
I
or
hope they
like,
do.
To John's point,
I-
they might have
I hope
both
they
of
do.
them in one scene.
You'll have to.
just-
Fans will have to clamor for it, like
Yeah.
what they did with Zack Snyder
Right.
Yeah.
and the Snyder cut, which didn't save the film.
Hold on, they actually released the Snyder Cut?
No, I don't think so. I
Yeah,
don't think they
because
ever-
they keep on saying that's not real, or it's just a myth. But then different actors are confirming, yeah.
No, it did happen, but it won't change the film. And
Yeah.
I think DC's distancing themselves away from that movie anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
In fact, they're distancing themselves from
the
this
whole
version of the
Snyderverse.
universe.
Yeah, so
And one
Snyder
interest-
was not a bad. His universe, his version for DC was not bad. I can tell you where he went wrong. One, he rushed.
yeah, he did.
There was one film that came out that preceded everyone else, Man
Yeah,
of Steel.
yeah,
Man of Steel should have been followed by
a Batman movie.
a
Yeah,
solo Batman film,
Yep.
which should have been followed by a solo Wonder Woman film,
yep.
Mhm.
because those are the big 3, and
Yeah,
that's
right.
the order in which they were released anyway. What they did was, instead of doing at least a Batman movie and then another Man of Steel 2 movie before
Yeah.
Wonder Woman film,
Yeah,
that could have led into Batman
Um,
versus Superman.
yeah.
They decided to jump the gun and introduce Batman as if the audience knows this version.
Yeah.
And then they try to make it like a buddy up, team up movie, which without any history, any long standing history of these versions of the characters, fans are now left figuring out,
why this person doing this?
why is this person doing this? And then it feels like there was more movies that happened before this happened. I saw where they did with what they did with Batman, but I don't like it. I don't like the whole old Kryptonians destroying Earth on paranoid thing. I felt that belongs to Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Right.
That could have been Lex who was on the ground watching the aliens blow shit up. That was Lex Luthor's time to say, right now, we're being attacked by aliens. This is interfering with my business. I don't like it. I'm going to do something about it. That could have been Lex. Where Batman shouldn't have been in that film, period. That could have been Man of Steel 2. Instead, they shoehorned Batman and Superman into this film,
right.
forced them to fight
Yeah,
for a
'cause-
stupid reason.
Yeah, because I got my own personal breakdown with that. Because I agree with you with all the points. They did rush it too much. And then two, me as a super comic head, it's like I just recently watched around that time, or even years before, Dark Knight Returns, which in that movie they have probable cause to fight each other because it's political.
Right.
You were trying to do this. The U.S. government sent me to stop you. All right, I ain't listening to you. All right, let's fight. Here, it's like, oh, you see the buildings falling down, and it's like, yo, there's no probable cause. And then what Jonathan said, they didn't build the characters enough.
No.
All right,
No, they
why
didn't, for
is
real.
this Superman scowling so much? Superman is supposed to be a symbol of hope, and then Batman. Okay, you show tethered Robin outfit, but we don't know what happened to Robin.
Right.
We don't understand why you killing people when killing people is against your code.
Right.
And
Like,
then
it was just pushed too much in the future. Now,
Yeah.
just to touch on your point, and then I'll let you get back to yourself. With Superman is, I think Superman develops as a symbol of hope over time. And he first starts off. I even read this comic, which Earth One, which this movie took inspiration from Man of Steel, and that Superman is uncertain about who he is and what his place is in the world. When he first shows up on the scene in any comic book, no one instantly recognizes him as someone to love. That's something he earns over years of being Superman, which is why in the Justice League, where it shows Superman being beloved by everybody, I didn't quite understand why. Because in the Man of Steel movie, he's distrusted. In Batman vs Superman movie, he's barely trusted.
Yeah, and they trying to figure out whether he's a savior. Because like they have that scene where he coming down from heaven,
Yeah.
and then like they touching up all him,
Right.
and so it's like I understand he's struggling with that Messiah complex thing. So it's like, okay, boom.
So I apologize. I wouldn't say I have a sore throat,
You got the mommy.
but no. Sorry, hearing noise in the background.
It's
clearing
worse.
My throat.
Yeah.
When you eat something that overstimulates.
Yay.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna back off. Back off.
Yeah.
but they had this whole Messiah complex, and
Right,
then you
right.
didn't build these characters, and then you tried to compete. You should have never wanted to compete with Marvel. And I like what they're doing now. where
Boy, yeah, that's a serious thing.
They are now doing this thing where wait, we ain't even making it make sense. We just making a good film
Yeah.
and put it out there.
Yeah, let's just make a movie.
Let's just make a movie. Let's stop worrying about what everybody else doing. Let's do what we do.
Look what Joker did in the box office. Joker completely annihilated Marvel.
Yeah.
One film. And
And
not just because it's a Joker movie, but because the movie was very precise in storytelling. It had a goal. They wanted you to think. It wasn't just, okay, let's bring out one comic book movie character, another comic book movie character. I don't see myself rewatching Marvel movies because they're like comic books to me.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll go back and reread something. But when I finish with the plot line and the plot line sucks, I move on.
Yeah.
It's like it's a continuation of moving plot lines. Marvel movies are like that. I'm not gonna.
The only one I probably rewatch is I think I was having this debate. I was like, yeah, Endgame was great, and I cried on that. I mean, that end scene. Every time I see it, I go into
as a standalone masterpiece of a film. Was it?
No.
The great standards of film.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't.
Obviously, it has to be.
No, because Infinity War is a better film than that. Than Endgame to me.
Yeah.
Or whatever, because it was more provoking. It's like
It did.
It went against the grain, and like Endgame was just climactic, but like that end scene, it was like, yo.
Right.
I used to dream about this stuff when I was young, and actually, I get to live long enough to see this on a big screen.
Facts.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So it was like
Facts.
it was like a geek out movie. Like that whole end scene, boom. That I live with that forever. But
Did you have to go to the bathroom after? It sounds like what you're describing is you were having an orgasm in those people's theater seats.
no, it wasn't. I mean, I guess it was an orgasm because it's so much emotion.
Like I'm not even trying to imagine, but when you saw Steve return to the future from being in the past, that must have tripped you out.
Yeah.
No. I think I was.
was.
I mean, I was tripped up. I was just like, you in this high first. He got the hammer, and then like I always just get excited when it's like he down and it's like, oh, Thanos about to kill him, and then oh yes, coming on your left, and you start seeing, and I just anticipating the whole Avengers Assemble, and everybody started like screaming. I was screaming.
Yeah, but in our theater, everybody's clapping.
Yeah, like it was like you
cheering.
about to have that Avengers Assemble, and then it's done.
That was epic.
That
showed that had
epic.
the best use of all their characters in one
and the score.
final battle.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the score too good.
No, like when they like it's like dun dun,
Right.
and he's like Avengers Assemble, dun, and then you just see the
Right.
things. It's so cinematic. It's like
very cinematic.
But
They did
Marvel's
well on
music is not memorable at all.
Not too memorable.
except for the main theme.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
everything else is not
definitely.
memorable.
Yeah.
Star Wars has memorable
Yeah.
scores.
Yep. Star Wars has a memory.
That like, if there's anything, that's why to bring this back to Sonic, I think Sonic
Mm-hmm.
needs to have great music. The games,
this
most of them
film
have great
need
music.
to have good music because that's one of the key points of the game.
That's what puts Sonic aside from other gaming mascots during the day is his music too, along with the gameplay.
Yeah, I agree.
That music.
I agree.
They even at one point during Sonic 3, I think they had sampled one of Michael Jackson's music, or they intended to use him, but it got scrapped.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it still is in there actually.
Yeah.
I think it is still in there. If they just didn't credit him. That's the thing. They ended up not crediting
That's a
him.
lawsuit. If they did it,
Right.
like get them to sign off. on
But
it.
they use a lot of different influences, all the way from jazz, hip hop, rock,
Yeah. Very
like
good
just
point.
different. Well, wait, straight down to traditional Japanese music for certain stages, but in the newer games. But the fact is, Sonic music has always been inspiring, whereas Mario Zone is more whimsical and it plays with the stages.
Right.
Sonic's music plays with the mood and the atmosphere. So when you're in a night lit city type stage, everything is like very mellow.
Right.
With the exception of Chemical Road or
Chemical
Plant.
You got it.
Chemical Plant.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you, and I'm glad you make that point because I don't know.
Speed highway.
I don't know if you guys noticed in that second trailer that we watched, but in the second trailer they did have a remix of Green Hill Zone. They had a remix of it was like a little dubstep type remix to it.
I'm tired of Green Hill Zone.
I don't mind Green Hill Zone, but yeah, music could definitely be a key part of the trailer. And a fun fact I actually heard, well, not a fun fact, but a piece of trivia that I heard lately about this film is there is somebody who actually doesn't like the redesign who worked in the film, and that's Jim Carrey himself actually. And Jim Carrey's sentiments is exactly what I was trying to say a little bit earlier. It was like, to him, he feels like the original intended vision is lost because he feel like now it's a fan project. See what I'm saying? I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time too, it ain't a fan project. It's just a fan input saying, look, we want Sonic to look this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But clearly, I guess that was him stating that they actually did change a lot about the film, which he didn't like, which is kind of like taking away your own creative control.
But then Jim Carrey a producer?
I don't think he's a producer, so I don't think.
I think that's just him as an actor because that's why he signed on to the movie
I guess
too.
he understands.
Yeah.
You see?
But he also knows what it's like to create a project and have it changed.
Right.
So
I guess that's.
I don't think it's a sentiment that he alone is sharing. I believe
Probably.
they complained about it in the board meetings, and because the actors work very closely with the directors and producers. Big name like Jim Carrey is going to want to ask a lot of questions or know about the ins and outs of the project.
Right. Yeah.
Because if someone pulled him aside in an interview and asked him about the project, he needs to be able to speak fluently on it. So for him, I think he's expressing a sentiment that a lot of persons who worked hard on the film also showed. For instance, like what you said, having fans change a story or change a design to suit their needs pulls into question whether or not we can consider filmmaking art now, or is it more like a community art project.
Right.
However, let me say this. The original design for this movie was also not the design that was intended for Sonic the Hedgehog based on the creator's inputs. This Sonic does not reflect Sonic the Hedgehog as it is known internationally. So for fans demanding that it's changed to look and resemble and feel like the Sonic that the world knows, it's not an unreasonable request.
No. And a better one made because look at the marvelous thing that we got right now.
Because they're using someone else's IP to create a film.
Right.
And the way it's looking, it doesn't really honor and respect the IP the way it was looking. Sorry.
Right, I got you.
So for Jim Carrey, it's more of, yes, you want to create something and you want to produce something and give it to the world as it is, but also to the fans and to the original creators, because they actually had people who worked in Sonic Team designers comment, and they was wondering, well, where are the assets that make them unique?
Right. And then with that second trailer, honestly, with me and that second trailer, I loved it. I think it was better than the first one, but I felt a weird sense of like the production studio slapping it in the fans' face. It was like, they had the little slow down shot of Sonic. Well, first they had the Green Hill Zone, like the big plastic, like it started off in Green Hill Zone, and they kind of like, yeah, this what y'all want? Take this, right? The big Green Hill Zone, and they had a little slow down shot of Sonic doing the little slide type vibe or whatever, and it's like, look, and even the dialogue, because at that point in time, Sonic is like, and I look tremendous, so he says something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically the creators them talking through Sonic saying, yeah, we fix it for y'all, right? And then a lot of things that hit in that trailer to me, it was basically them just saying, we fix this, we fix that, y'all can't whine, bitch, and moan no more, you know what they saying? Even when they had the scene when your boy bust through the door saying he's NYPD, I can't remember which PD, SDPD, SPD,
I can't remember.
right, something PD, right?
You talking
like
about the Costa?
Huh?
You talking about the Costa?
What Costa?
No, the accent, the Co-Star. Who's the?
Oh yeah, the co-star. Yes.
Yeah.
He bust in the room saying he's the police or whatever, and then they had the identical shot where it was like, I remember in the first trailer, it was like Sonic was like meow, and then the next one is like, huh, right? Like that's a comparative shot that people been comparing with, right? And it's like the studio literally just plastered these shots in our face saying, we did listen to you guys. Like we know y'all listened to us. Like when we saw the film, bro.
Hold on, who was actually producing? Which
This
film
film?
studio? Yeah,
It's Paramount.
Paramount. Okay,
Right.
because I was going to say, you know, another reason why they probably may have acquiesced to fans' requests is, you know, Sega wants to finally make a profit. Who has these licensing rights to make this film?
Right.
And all these other, you know, figures.
Imagine Sony did this film. No, imagine if
It was
we got,
supposed to be Sony first, actually.
that would have been sick.
Right.
Like, imagine we got Sony to do it in the same style, Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse.
That would have been.
That would have been
Yeah,
dope.
they probably
Great.
should
That
have
would've
done it
been-
like that.
They should.
Yeah.
That's a good idea,
That would have been
actually.
dope.
That's what he was saying earlier, where it's just make the whole world CGI.
Yeah,
Right,
it would
right.
have
You have
made
more
everything.
flexibility.
Yeah, it would made it feel more authentic.
Yeah, but
Then we
that'd
wouldn't
been
have had
nice.
this version of Sonic that came out the first time. We would have had something looking like the second version. Now, honestly, I do think that Sonic's design is dated with the whole connecting eye thing. That's why I like that they didn't add that in to the next design that they did in the film,
Right.
The second trailer,
Right.
and giving him more of the, I guess, more modern separated eye. I could have done without the gloves. Honestly, having white hands
Yeah,
would
that
have
was a big
been
thing.
good, a little good, but it would have been too realistic. So I guess the gloves are a nice touch to add on to
Yeah,
it.
they a nice touch.
But he kind of looks like Sonic Boom design with the blue arms. I don't mind.
I don't mind that. Yeah,
No.
I actually don't mind that. 'Cause
Actually, I thought it would have
I-
bothered me, but it doesn't.
No,
I like it.
because I was really wondering about that, and I was like, I think it might have came off where making him with the flesh tone arms. Because
Yeah.
how would they present that?
Yeah.
Because it would have been like it's presented as skin in the games, but they would have had to make it fur on this to make it accurate, and then that would have been weird because this body would have two-tone outfit. So yeah, like you say, I don't mind the blue arms because
Which I never thought it was flesh. I felt it was supposed to be flesh-colored fur, like if it's around like
Flesh-colored fur,
animals.
to me in the
snouts.
games and all actual designs, it just has come off like skin to me.
It does.
It does come off like skin.
Because if you notice, that's the design that a lot of animal-based characters had. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong's design. That was flesh in the middle, flesh on the
right, and then they are like
noses.
fists.
Yeah.
Like his fists look like a big flesh fish. And I'm
But-
like,
It is troublesome when you're trying to design a realistic animal and you're putting him in
Yeah.
the real world
definitely.
to justify those design choices that look good on cartoon but not good in real life.
Right, and that's what I feel like they tried to do so much with the first trailer, and it just turned out wrong. But I understand where I understand where they was coming. Oh yeah, that's the thing what they got to do inside Thingam too. Inside this film, when the Sega logo comes up, they have to play the Sega jingle.
Well, if
They
we were
gotta play
going
the
off
Sega
of the
game.
first one, they probably wouldn't have played it at all.
Well, I got that covered because when I go to see this
Yo,
film,
Sega!
when I go to see this film, I can have my little Sonic statue, and it clicks on and it makes a Sega. I can show you this after the podcast. It clicks on and it says Sega. Like I could be the biggest fanboy going there, and people be like,
Dressed
"Yeah."
like Sonic
I
the
sure they
Hedgehog
could put me
anyway.
up. I sure they could put me up on BN, and they could be like, "Look at right, this come here. This dude come here all deck now."
So-
One thing. Go ahead.
No, you good, right?
What I was gonna say is one thing I don't like though, right? I appreciate the fans' feedback, and because everybody's saying that they love Sonic so much, I think like a lot of people who's on the train are just bash Sonic regardless. But even though one thing I didn't like is, yeah, he get all this kickback and feedback, but when I look at other films that came to live action and stuff like that, right? There's nearly not as much feedback with trashier designs of people that came out and nobody really said nothing about it. I.e., or the examples that I talking about, one main example that I keep saying was, I remember when the Underdog film came out. That was literally just a dog. It was literally just a dog with a cape. And then they animate the mouth. And I'm like, bruh, this don't fit Underdog at all. It doesn't fit Underdog at all. But nobody said nothing about that.
But yet everybody, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
That was nothing like Underdog.
I didn't watch it because I was like, there's no way. But there was no uproar, nothing. And now Sonic came out and everybody's like, no, this is la la la. And then
because you have to do Sonic right.
You have to do Sonic. But look, when the Garfield film came out, right? I remember when Garfield came out. Garfield design wasn't necessarily bad. It wasn't good. But I mean, the interaction with Garfield was crappy as hell, boy. They were petting air. They wasn't touching Garfield at all. And I was like, why? How did this even get out like this? But
sometimes I was be wondering how they be approving some.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, how did this get out?
The same reason how they approve shadow wielding guns and shooting people.
Right.
While the fans may hate it, the executives who have no idea what the character is supposed to be like love it. And that's the thing. A lot of executives don't understand the IP that they're adapting for the screen. When they see it as a good money-making idea, they'll pitch buzzwords: zombies, mansion, guns, Resident Evil, or demons, Mars, Marines, similar to aliens.
Doom.
It's Doom.
Right.
With this one, alien hedgehog from another planet, runs fast. Evil scientist wants to capture him.
Yeah.
Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right.
While that is the essence of what the character does, that doesn't tell me anything about the character and what he stands for.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't play these games, so they don't understand.
And then that whole last breakdown you made for Sonic sounds like a plethora of other movies.
Could be right.
So, like,
And that's why they can pitch it and greenlight it, because it sounds like other movies. You have movies that came out that's very similar. It means it's safe.
yeah.
And Paramount is known for making a lot of family movies. And I think they also did they do the Air Bud series? No, that was Disney.
Yeah, that was Disney.
That's Paramount. But they did do the what was the movie we was just talking about just now? The Super Dog.
Underdog.
Yeah,
They did Underdog?
Did they?
I don't
I'm
know.
asking.
I don't know.
I know they do Underdog.
I never seen
I
it.
feel
It
like
feels like they- it
or that
feels
could
like
be
they did.
that probably might have been New Line Cinema, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because who did the movie with, I think not Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah, Wreck-It Ralph is a good video
That
game
was a good-
adaptation of a
That
game
was
that
Disney,
doesn't
though.
exist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, with the I forget what this movie where like in the real world they had the Pac-Man down.
Pixels.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pixels was a good video game influenced movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
It wasn't. I hated Pixels.
Oh, okay. we found something we can also disagree with.
I didn't like Pixels. I didn't like the reference. I mean, I didn't like the references. I done was fed up with Adam Sandler. I was tired of him, and I'm like, bruh.
What?
you
Adam
mean,
Sandler's the GOAT.
No, boy, Adam Sandler been out his prime.
He's the greatest of all
Being-
time. Still,
You know, he's been out of his prime. So I'm like, that was
his
painful.
humor hasn't
That was-
changed.
That's the thing. It needs to change because old Adam Sandler don't work for what they producing now. You know what they say?
But that's like saying with Sonic's design needs to like kind of does.
Real. But I ain't gonna lie. Let this have been like Nintendo.
Yeah.
And all the fans is like, no, we don't like the design. Nintendo would have been like,
We
so
still pushing it
right?
up.
They still is pushing that up.
Nintendo will
Real
they'll look
talk.
at you, smile, and be like,
okay,
okay.
do you
don't watch
think-
the film.
Do y'all think that this will inspire Nintendo to revisit the Super Mario movie?
Well, they done already. Said no. Here's the thing.
no,
they
they will not.
No, they did say they were supposed to remake the Super Mario film.
No, do a
And-
whole different film. Don't remake anything. There's nothing about that film that's salvageable.
Yeah, they say they was gonna do
I
that.
mean,
do it.
using the character.
And catch this,
basically.
right? And
Yeah.
catch this. They say Sony was gonna make the film for them.
Interesting.
I highly doubt that because
That's
Sony don't
weird.
like don't like competition at all.
No,
Sony always trying to be above the competition.
Sony's cinema branch is not the same as their gaming branch.
Oh, okay.
So having Nintendo use them, hire them as if it was another client to do a movie for them,
would work.
Would work.
It okay for them.
and I would trust Sony with that because Sony does
would.
have a good track record of
They
good
do.
films,
They do.
especially adapting films from different properties
They do.
onto the screen.
They're saying they're gonna make. I don't know if it was supposed to be a live action Mario film or it's supposed to be CGI though.
It should
mean,
be CGI.
it should
no
be.
live action Mario.
Yeah.
Or it should be animated
Can't
like cartoon.
do it.
Should be
Yeah.
a cartoon.
Yes.
That's what it should be. And
Or
then-
like just like Into the Spider-Verse if you're gonna do it.
right.
And then if you're gonna do a Super Mario movie and do it live action, it don't make sense making the Mario character a CGI thing. Just make it a person.
Right.
No.
Do it.
CGI.
I mean, talking about inspirations, I really hope this does inspire a Mega Man film because then they've been
Yeah.
there's been like
He
people
could use a film.
Yeah.
right. There's
Mega
been
Man
people
X could use a film.
right. There's been people saying Mega Man supposed to have a film. Like there's been gossip about it, but then all the rumors were fake and all that stuff. I would love to see a Mega Man film. I don't mind that even being full CGI. I think they could go CGI with Mega Man film. I'd love to see that.
I think they could go both ways too.
And because-
you could go live action.
I
You
don't
know-
want. I
you
don't want
know-
live action Mega Man.
There's going to be a live action Zelda
You know what
film.
gonna happen? You
So
know what
now
gonna happen if
Zelda
they
film,
do?
Zelda
You know they.
series.
You know what gonna happen if they do a live action Mega Man film? They got the old Mega Man,
Yeah.
fat Mega Man.
No, no.
they could do that. They could do that because that was literally a man in a suit.
They'll do it, but you just missed when I said there's going to be a Zelda Netflix series.
Oh, for
That's
So
what
real?
I've been knowing,
that's
yeah.
a green light. That's a real.
Yeah,
light.
they're working collaboratively.
Well, I
They-
know.
the
Well,
Nintendo
hey,
and
I know Nintendo
Netflix.
ain't gonna let one of their biggest IPs flunk. So
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident with that.
I'm confident Netflix can do it because
I'm confident in
Yeah.
Netflix and Nintendo.
looking
right.
at The Witcher, which is a book adaptation and not a video game adaptation for those who've never read the books.
Thank you. You
It's
taught
a
me something new.
Book adaptation.
Yeah, you taught
But-
me something new.
It is a good-looking book adaptation at that, and
Right.
it seems that they're capturing the spirit of the character correctly. Especially since if you're the person who only consumed The Witcher from the games, Gerald is the same person in and out of the games and the books. So I'm glad that they've captured him. What I want them to do though is to not have it in a little 3-episode season and then make us wait about a year and a half for the other 4. Because Castlevania annoyed me. But that was actually a very successful video game adaptation. I think video game adaptations work best when they're in series where you can tell the story over episodes rather than one movie where they try to jam
Chunk.
everything in there.
That's a very, very, very good point. Let's end on that note actually, because we've been going quite a while right now. So, but that's a very good point, and I agree with that. Like, they should just make series out of video game adaptations because normally a bunch of video game films is just cash-ins. Honestly, they're just trying to say I can use the IP, the name of it, the popularity, cash in, get some money, whatever, yada yada yada. So that's a very good one. And I looking forward to this Legend of Zelda. I looking forward to a part 2 to this Sonic film.
Metroid.
If this one,
So if we're gonna end on anything that needs adaptation that is doable, workable, and within the budget of modern day Hollywood, Metroid.
yeah, Metroid would be a very good film.
If you get a Metroid
I want a
film to
live
work,
action Metroid film,
and you can
actually.
make it work. But if you can get that to work, you can make Mega Man work because they
Right.
function similarly.
Similar, right?
The only difference is Samus is easier to make regular audiences believe in rather than Mega Man, this blue guy shooting up the place. If you're making this design 100% factual and on point, then yeah. But with Samus, you don't need to do anything, no CGI. You can get any actress with blonde hair. Yeah, any actress with blonde hair who fits the bill looking like Samus.
I could see them just picking Scarlett Johansson now. I could done feel that.
Look what they did with Iron Man. The Iron Man
Yeah.
suit was 100% believable. You can do that and make Samus.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
The spaceship, everything, the Chozo, all of the different races, all
Right.
of that is 100% doable. We've been doing stories like that in science fiction for years.
Right.
It could have been done in the 90s and all. It's
Right.
Yeah.
doable. So
Right.
if you're going to do anything that's a movie, do it on the first game. Make the whole movie based on that first game. Because the story was really good.
Right.
You know,
Right.
she's a bounty hunter. That's relatable.
Right.
Or you, but I think what also would be cool is a Star Fox.
Film?
Yeah.
That can work too.
That could
Yeah.
work too, yeah.
That's workable.
Oh, I could see it now. They getting a real fox.
No.
And then put him in clothes.
Do it
They
like
get a-
Fantastic
they
Mr.
could-
Fox.
they
Have
could-
it like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be good if they do it like the Fantastic
Yeah.
Mr. Fox.
but make it CGI, but mimics
The
stop
Fanta-
motion.
I
That
so
would
mad
work.
Netflix took that down. I used to love watching that. Honestly,
Fantastic.
I didn't read the book.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't read the
yeah.
book, but I loved the film.
The film was very charming.
It was charming. But I could see them now getting a real fox, getting a real bunny rabbit, a real frog,
Captain
and
Falcon.
putting metal legs
Yeah,
on
Captain
them.
Falcon would be good too.
Sorry, F-Zero.
Yeah,
F-Zero could
yeah.
work as a movie.
No, because racing properties don't work on the whole.
Well, it could work as a series actually.
Right, it
A
could work as a
CGI
series.
An
But-
anime. Like, I had one
Right,
before.
they did.
Yeah.
They had a
It
slight
worked.
anime. Yeah.
Yeah.
But another one.
Yeah. All right, but let's end on that note.
Yeah,
That's,
we land on it.
that's some good points he brought up there. So, like I say, this ain't no podcast. This was just a discussion. But hey, it's probably in hopes that we could probably get a podcast running sometime soon. We can keep working towards that. We can keep working towards that. You know what I'm saying? So it's been real, people.
And I have Link's sword in my hand.
Yeah,
BGS.
I hope you guys
Damascus
enjoyed
sword.
listening to us ramble about this Sonic the film. I just like when this came out, we was like, yeah, because when the first trailer came out, me and John was like, yeah, but we got to do a podcast on this. Didn't do it, and then now this comes on, and it's like, yeah, it's time. It must be done now. It must be done now. So we had to get this together. So I think we should come back again around the round table, like when the film comes out, and then just discuss.
Of course.
Yeah, we definitely can do that when the film comes out. So,
We gotta watch
Yeah.
that day one though.
oh yeah, I definitely watching it day one. So
Because it comes out, I think
February
February.
14th, they say.
Oh, Valentine's Day.
Yes, that's a great Valentine's Day.
Place to bring a girl.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And be like, yeah, I get you some flowers, and we gonna watch on it
Yeah, that's interesting. I remember I watched.
Blue roses.
I watched Deadpool.
on Valentine's Day.
With
Yeah,
a
one
girl.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. That's it.
It could be a guy's 2019. We don't care
Right?
about that
Yeah, it's
stuff.
2019.
Yeah.
That's how it is. It's more than likely gonna be a guy, even if you thought it was a girl. That's
Or
2019.
non-binary gender person.
Man.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So descriptions and stuff could be below everybody.
Yeah, you
to
know.
Lord J. Willard and all that stuff. John, if you got some descriptions, some links I can get you, some links.
Not yet. Soon.
Yeah, man.
Working on
soon
a
enough.
channel.
So yeah, so you guys can hear us again next time when the film comes out. You can see if this was a flop, if it was a success. Final verdict: I think it's gonna be the most successful video game franchise film.
Same.
And I know.
Hold on,
guys
what-
because I
what-
love
what-
film.
what
I think
Detective Pikachu did?
50%. It could be
Huh?
50%.
What did Detective Pikachu
The
do?
Detective Pikachu, it
was
had
good.
passing grades. Yeah, it was good.
In Japan, it was all the rage.
I think people. Yeah, I think that right now
Like
that is
all
the
the
best
rage.
video game adaptation film,
Mhm.
even though it wasn't directly based on the actual.
You just
Pokemon
used to
manga or
use
anything. They
the
used to-
characters.
Yeah, they
basically.
used to. I mean, there's a Detective Pikachu game too, but it wasn't based on the game.
Mm.
So I think the Sonic film was
I
about to
think the
take
game was more of a tie-in. I think it was a project. I think Detective Pikachu
Right.
was just one big project.
right.
Mhm.
Like Shadows of the Empire, where it was a huge multimedia project done by Lucasfilm
Right.
Mm.
to, I guess, produce what could essentially be called a Star Wars film without the film.
Right.
Mm.
So it had
So-
everything that the films did, the marketing level. I thought it was a real film. When I was a kid when that came out. I thought that was a real film.
Mm.
Right.
Like that came out 96, 95, 96.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
97.
me and them say it's probably gonna be the best video game movie. What you say?
I mean, I still gotta watch Detective Pikachu, but I would be interested and excited to watch Sonic the Hedgehog, see how it,
Yeah, just got to.
what I think would change or think that they reshot, because it's gonna show
Yeah, I can
or
show.
whatever. Like
You
you
can
can
show.
tell what exactly was reshot. But yes, my verdict will be in when I see the movie.
All right, that's fair enough.
Yep.
All right, so that's all we got to say for that right now. So
Peace out.
peace out,
All right,
deuces.
Yeah.
All right.